Hello, everyone. I am Moz, and this is Speaker Split, where I interview players vying to win AEL's Summer 2025 split. Today, I am joined with last split's runner-up mid laner, Zed.
Hey, I'm Zedd. I'm currently the mid laner for ID Blastcone in, I believe it's the Majestic Conference, and we're in Freljord. You can also catch me this Monday playing in BOL semifinals on OG Sin, making the legendary run to finals.
Awesome. So, I kind of just want to go straight into last split,
Yeah.
because you and your team made kind of a great run to finals to fall short of expectations.
Yeah.
How are you feeling coming off of that?
Well, coming immediately off that, I didn't really have any feelings towards it because it's just, okay, well, I know where I can improve and I still have another league to play in, so there's no time for me to kind of mental boom myself. And I definitely think I've taken some lessons from that and transferred it to my game because of how we're doing in BOL. We've played two back-to-back best of fives, the last one being a reverse sweep in our favor. And of course, I'm still playing with Terps and all of these teams. My absolute hero in the top lane, and yeah, I think we're just improving constantly, and I think we have a good shot this year, honestly, at remaking finals and proving everyone wrong that last year was just a fluke.
Okay, sick. I love to hear. I mean, obviously, I myself fell short in semis. Unfortunately, I'm just the biggest fraud. um, couldn't, but we did manage to take the finalists to 5 games, which I mean is something, I suppose, but I wasn't able to overcome that hurdle at the end there, which is pretty unfortunate for us.
Mhm.
Um, but it's good to hear that that loss didn't weigh on you too much, and you've used that, I guess, frustration to practice and learn and improve as a player, and hopefully come back even stronger this year. Um,
Hopefully.
One of the biggest criticisms I heard about you at last year's final um, were champ pool issues. Do you think that's something you fixed? Is it still something you're working on? How are you? Do you
So
think those takes are based in like valid criticism towards you?
So I think it is kind of valid, and that's most mid laners, right? Is that you'll have a wide pool. Taking another mid laner, for example, the winner of Last Aegis in BKP, where you see majority of the time he's on his power picks of, let's say, Syndra, Cassiopeia, and the occasional like Hui, right? It's the reason why I have pinched my pool to the size it is because these are the champs I can considerably like go nuts on. Where, of course, there's always the Ari, right? Always a game five pick for me is if it's up, I'll take Ari no matter what. And it definitely is something that should be worked on. I shouldn't have pinched pool, especially in fearless leagues. But I think if all that you can expect from me is a certain number of champs, then you're just going to lose because I definitely have more to show and more to give.
Okay, all right. Um, so what? I guess just on the topic of champions, I know Riot hasn't done any drastic changes in terms of balance recently. Have you, at risk of potentially exposing anything if you can, have you picked
Mhm.
up anything that champs that you're really having fun with right now, whether in solo queue or scrims?
I definitely say I've been more open to picking champs like Lux and Annie recently, those kind of burst mages, to where I don't know. I feel like they're just in a decent spot right now to where I can 100 to 0 somebody, and I've just been kind of picking them in scrims. And last Friday, I believe, I did pick Lux in an official game, and she felt amazing.
Yeah, I Annie got that changed to, I think it was Tibbers, where she gets percent pen as
Yeah,
she levels it
Tibbers
up,
does
right?
percent magic pen now, yeah.
Yeah, that I saw that change, and I really thought Annie was gonna become pick ban, but I honestly haven't seen a lot of her in solo queue, which was pretty surprising to me. And I mean, take this with a grain of salt because it's the new game mode Brawl. But when I've been playing it in Brawl, you're accelerated because of gold, but like you will literally one shot anyone you put R on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Every like
Especially with the new change.
almost every time consistently you can 100 to 0 any squishy champ
Mhm.
with R. That is it. One
Yeah,
combo
just
done.
just pressing R, Q, and W does almost 75% health,
Yeah,
even
that.
to tanks, which is insane.
I mean, as an ADC player, it's not the funnest thing to have happen, but
Well, I love it.
um. So right now you're on ID Blastcone, as you said.
Yes.
Being joined with I know Rudy's on it. Rudy,
Yep.
my old support, old reliable.
Yeah. Oh,
Deli,
sorry.
Steve, and Terps, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's like how's the team atmosphere? Like do you guys mesh well? Do you guys have good chemistry as a team? Like what's kind of the vibe in scrims right now?
So this being my second week with the team because they originally had Justify, and then Justify had to drop out for some personal reasons, and
Okay.
luckily Terps cursed my other Aegis team to go play Fridays, so he successfully poached me. But yeah, I think in the 2 weeks that we've kind of played, originally the first week I wasn't really feeling like the vibes at all. But then the second week, it was kind of a drastic change to where I felt like everything was running just like it would on any other one of my rosters that I have with Derps,
Okay.
where we're just having fun, honestly,
Just
and we're
bantering
performing,
back and
having
forth.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're performing and having fun,
All right. Hey, I
and
mean, that's always
I'm really
awesome.
happy to see Rudy again too. Guy took me to quarterfinals last time when I played with ID.
Yeah, and we all know who fucked it up last time. Kappa.
Yeah, lethality Jarvan.
Speaking of which, actually, this is probably to me the one of the
Mm,
biggest, I guess, pre-split um, changes here is Proton is now back in the league and he's not on jungle and
mhm.
he's playing ADC. What?
Yeah.
What? I mean, I joked with him a lot about that because I mean,
Mhm,
I never really saw him as that, and I consider most players to be pretty static in the roles that they play, right?
mhm.
Just because it's fun and stuff like that. So hearing that he's not only back but also playing AD carry was pretty funny, but it's exciting. I gotta say I'm
Mhm.
really looking out for his team right now because it's looking to be a quite a banger split.
Oh yeah, I mean, with that kind of move, I haven't scrimmed this exact roster. I believe they just added Zuzumi, but I did scrim one of the earlier rosters, and I think he definitely looked solid on the ADC. He was absolutely going crazy on Lucian, but hey, I'm just gonna say that was a Lucian as a champion thing and not a Proton plat player. But yeah, I think if we're on the topic of teams that are kind of looking really good, I definitely have to give a big, I guess, shout out to the Syndicate org because both of their teams look really exceptional this year. And what later on, I assume, when we're talking about the tier list, I can't put them anywhere but the top. All the rosters look really good.
Mhm.
The Espada roster, especially with Sean in the mid lane, I think Sean's a really good player himself. And then the other roster has Canella. I mean, two strong mid laners, both I've beaten, by the way. Ooh, but yeah, both teams look exceptionally strong this year, and I really can't see them going anywhere but semis or finals.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Syndicate, Jerry's Watermelon do have a Spada top lane, Trad in jungle, uh, Sean in the mid lane, all Gucci and D Shot in the bot lane, like that. And I mean, currently their rank locks are sitting at Emerald 1 across the board, basically, and then D Shot sitting at D4. So, I mean, pretty, I guess, high elo team
Hmm.
in the standings. And I mean, Espada is such a good top laner. I mean, from the times I've had games where I've scrimmed him, and then
Yeah.
also just in general in Aegis, he's been kind of a standout player. And then double pumpers, what we got here? We have Capfill, Hammond Karn, Canella, like you said, Koopa, who is a great ADC,
Hmm.
and then Tilted Towers. Like these are squads to be reckoned with. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just
And
to bring up the tier list, I'll just show
yeah.
them on the screen really quick. Pretty similar between yours and mine, having um, kind of the same contenders, except for
Mhm.
me, I do have Elysium Luna sitting up there with Storm, Queen Styx, Naysayer,
Mhm.
Chaser, and EXC. And I want to know what made you kind of put them not making it past the 12th round here.
Well, so I'm looking at that roster, and like you said, there's some pretty good names on that roster, and Naysayer and Chaser and EXE. I'm not too familiar with Storm's game in the top lane. I'm a little familiar with Queen Styx. I've definitely scrimmed her a few times, and I looking at the players and teams that I've put above them, I can't really say there's anything special. I watched I believe it was a Eternal game against Trad, and it just kind of looked like struggle. Only a few champions you can play. Very, very limited pool. And although their bot lane and mid lane are pretty good, I just think they're falling short in the rest of the map, and I really can't see them going anywhere other than round of 12.
Okay, okay. Definitely a stronger team, though, for sure. And another thing is the format this year.
Mhm.
Aegis is going into full fearless. They're definitely one of the later leagues to kind of adopt that. Um, so for those of you who don't know, this year for summer 2025, we are doing two conferences, each with two groups. The first conference is the Majestic Conference with Targon Group and Freljord Group. Now, Targon has 5 teams, and so does Freljord. Targon has No Kittens, Summit Esports, Arctic Warfare, Monkey Mania, Silver Song Fruits, and Team Pengu.
Mhm.
Freljord has been blessed with ID Blastcone, uh, Dorado Gaming Iota, Crowd Control In-Houses, Ionia Green, and Shadow Garden Hexroot Covenant. And then we
Mhm.
move over to the Harrowing Conference, which has two groups of 4. So in total, there are, I believe it's 18 teams, which I thought was a little odd, but it's fine. Uh, with the groups in that one being Isles with Oversoul Esports, Syndicate Watermelon, Jerry's Watermelon, Elysium Luna, and Cape Dogs Redacted. And then we go down into Bilgewater with Fools 5, 15, Syndicate Double Pumpers, XG Gorilla, and
Mhm.
Stevenson Sharks.
Yeah.
Um, and that also kind of has shifted how we're doing how we're doing playoffs.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, I'm just looking really excited to see how this split plays out. There's a lot of I think this is going to be a extremely competitive split overall.
Mhm.
I am really looking forward to see how teams adapt going into Fearless. I mean, I know a bunch of these players play in multiple different leagues, BOL, Titan, and I'm like I said, those leagues have already adopted Fearless. So, but for some of these players, I believe it was Ionia Green's mid laner who said that this is their first time playing competitive.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm pretty sure it was said uh in the chat. One sec, let me
Mhm.
see if I can find it here really quick. Um,
I mean, and I'm excited to play them next week because
it
we have a bye this week, so.
yeah, that's kind of why I'm not super big on this 18 groups or this 18 team with two groups of 5.
Yeah.
Because I was really looking forward to watching you guys play this week because I mean, you're my first interviewer, right? So, or
Yeah.
interviewee rather. So I was really hoping to talk about our matchup that you were having in week 1, but instead you have to play in week 2. And in week 2,
Yeah.
you actually face Ionia Green.
Yeah.
And
Which is exciting.
I don't know if you know anything about these players or if there's anyone you recognize. I certainly don't recognize anyone on that squad, but
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no one I recognize on it, but I've said it before in like different things. It's just gonna be this is to kind of prove that you kind of belong here type of series. And unfortunately, I think it's just going to show that Ionia Green has that room they need to improve on, and that they aren't ready for honestly making it past seeding.
That's fair. I mean,
So,
the biggest thing with a lot of these teams is they're looking to prove themselves. Like specifically, I remember Cape Dogs on our time on Supernova. I mean,
mhm.
that was like the bottom barrel team. Like,
I,
respectfully,
I
that's
still think I still think it is. You know, a lot of these teams here. It's just if you were to look at my tier list, I don't know if it was up on the screen or not.
yeah, it would have been.
Um, I think I put like for one of them, it's like hold the door on your way out, kind of tier. And truthfully, I think that's pretty real to me. Where it's like some of these teams, it's like I can't tell if they're gonna be good, but I just know they aren't.
Come on, man.
It's like my bottom two tiers, honestly, they just don't even have to exist. We can only talk about the 9 teams up above.
Yeah, I think when Cape Dogs played in fall, I think it was um I think they didn't win a single game. I think they actually won one game against the other bottom team actually.
Oh, okay.
Let me pull it up because I still have the old one here. So we were in Chemtech group. So they went 1-6 that split with a 4-13 game record.
Yeah,
It was a rough split for these guys.
I'm
That
shocked they're
was
fielding another Emerald team. Honestly, after that, I wouldn't.
now the one name I do want to point out that is still here is Shiba. I do remember playing against this guy. Um, Not bad, decent AD fundamentals. Um, but yeah, it's really I get what you mean by like you don't really know these players, but you don't have the biggest expectations going into them.
Yeah.
Especially with people who we've never heard of before, and they're here to
Mhm.
make an impact and kind of make a name for themselves. And I mean, if I can do it my first split, right? I mean, I carried us all the way to
Mhm.
QF, so
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
and that was before I like actually became a good player
yeah,
too. So.
yeah. So I mean, I have no doubt that like there can be some really fun games and some really good competitive matches going into here, absolutely. But
Mhm.
kind of what's what group I guess looks to be the absolute worst in terms
Oh, the
of yeah,
worst.
like in terms of competitiveness, like it's just
Argon.
like Targon, really? Oh,
Oh
okay.
wait, yeah, okay. Actually, that might be more competitive because it's bottom of the barrel fighting bottom of the barrel. If we're going on just complete stomps, then it's probably going to be either the Isles group or my group. You know, there's not really much that's going to happen there. It's most likely for my group, especially the only team that's really going to actually be able to do anything in any of the games will probably be Iota. I think they look pretty decent, and then Isles. Come on, let's be so for real. You have 2 teams who are real in Jerry's Watermelons and maybe Elysium Luna. That is yet to be seen. And then you just have 2 fillers. I really can't place them anywhere else until I see like a game. You know what I mean? But Cape Dogs, from what I remember and know, there's nothing. And then you have Oversoul Esports. Really cool logo, by the way. And that's all I can really say. That's good. That's all the only good thing I can say. But yeah, I think the Harrowing Conference, if we're talking about the most competitive group, it's going to be Bilgewater. I mean, look at that. How did that happen? You Fools 515, which has really good team. I need to see a little bit more from Esmia before I can say she's okay. You have Syndicate Dumble Pumpers, who, like I said before, is one of 3 teams that I can see actually making it the furthest. And then you have XG Gorilla with my boy McFeeds. Love you, McFeeds. See you Monday. But I don't know. I can't. The only reason I have them up there is because I know Cocoa Puffs is pretty decent. McFeeds is decent, and Spoobert. He'll do what he needs to do.
Yeah,
And then we don't have to talk about the filler in that group either. We're good.
Honestly, yeah, I would say just looking so going back to Majestic, I think in Targon, I think the top two teams are probably going to be Summit and
Yeah.
Monkey Mania. And
Oh,
then in
first time ever.
Freljord, I think we're gonna it's gotta be Blastcone and Iota, like without a doubt. Like the
Oh yeah.
Dorado
I
consistently puts up very strong squads. And
they oh, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, they Dorado Gaming, full power to you guys. You guys constantly put up teams that can make quarterfinals. Um, let's see if you guys can make it further this year. But I'm looking forward to actually playing against NBK. I've heard quite a few good things about him from Watercat, but sometimes Watercat lies, and I'm hoping he didn't this time.
yeah, I mean that's like one of the strongest things about Dorado is like they are. I can't really name anyone on this roster, but I mean just knowing the prestige that Dorado carries, right? Like it's hard to think they would put anything less than their best foot forward for rosters. Um, and then looking in harrowing in Isles, I mean, obviously Syndicate Jerry's Watermelons, absolutely, and I think Elysium Luna are the top two contenders in that group for sure. And then, like you said in Bilgewater, I mean, that one's kind of a little closer, but I think it's going to be Syndicate and Fools 550.
I completely agree. Actually, there's not one thing I'd change in that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, it's really hard to rank these teams going into it because I there are teams like you said before where I know all the players personally, like I've talked to them or I've played them multiple times, and I can without a shadow of a doubt tell you if they're good or not. Especially in Monkeys Mania, I think Monkeys Mania picking up. I don't know if you saw or not, but they recently picked up Thunder McBusters in the mid lane.
I
I think
did
he's pretty.
not.
Yeah, he's actually pretty solid. It's not Pack-a-Paul. Sorry, guys. You don't get to see a Pack-a-Paul mid lane split. Um, I'm really happy about Thunder actually getting a team so he can kind of prove it, not only to himself, but to others that he's not bottom of the barrel in the mid lane. I would personally say out of every mid laner here, he's definitely in the middle of the pack, which isn't a bad thing. There are in a lot of insanely good mid laners this split. Sean, Canella, me, NBK, and then Thunder McBusters. I would say, oh, and Naysayer. I'm so sorry, Naysayer. I remember last time I talked about mid, I forgot him, and he got pretty sad. But yeah, like I said, they're pretty good mid laners this split, and I'm really happy to see him return, especially off last split. I think he was one of the only mid laners other than BKP who actually gave me any sort of like, I might not win the lane.
That kind of does it for me in terms of questions. You know, first and foremost, good luck going into week two because even though you guys have a bye this week, I'm sure you guys are still going to get lots of
Yeah.
practice in. And I mean, this is a good opportunity to actually watch the people you play into for week two, right? So I
Oh yeah,
think
100%. I mean, oh, sorry to interrupt, but
no,
yeah,
go for it.
the only game I'm really gonna watch is the Dorado game if it's streamed. I think the rest are kind of not that good to watch. I can just look at match results, to be fair. Whoever gave us bye this week, guess they didn't want to see a team get humiliated first thing. Next week though is Ionia Green. Just pack it up. Week 3 is our only week that I'm actually kind of nervous about and will do any form of prep, and that's of course against Dorado Gaming. But other than that, it's just smooth sailing. I don't even know.
Absolutely fair. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching you guys play, especially as we go deeper into the weeks here. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking time to sit down with me and answer my
Of
questions
course.
and kind of just vibe here for a minute. Is there anything you want to say to the mid laner you're going to face in week two? Who is
Isn't it like
once
Girl Twink CEO?
yeah, it's Girl Twink CEO. Anything you want to, any banter you want to get out here as we go into week one and as you prep for week two here?
Yeah. Stop practicing Azir and play some real champs that might help your team win. Um, Kind of looking at your OP, 100 and oh sorry, 294 games E4. Congrats, you made it all the way to E4 from probably gold. But you know, it's a long way down, and I hope you enjoy the kind of quick exit you guys will take. You know what I mean? Oh wait, this is a resilient roster. Oh snap! I didn't
Bro,
even know.
you're just.
Oh yeah, he's the only good thing I can say about that roster. Then, oh my bad, resilient. Whoops.
Isn't he on? I'm pretty sure. Is it Resilient the sub though?
Yeah, yeah. Sub him in. You'll need it.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Zed. Thank you for speaking your split. Honestly, thank you for speaking your split. Doing all the shit talking you need to do. Good luck going into week 2. I wish you guys all the best luck for this week
They
of
need
prep.
luck.
And and thank you guys for watching so much. As Zed said, you guys can catch him in BOL making a crazy run to finals.
I pray that it doesn't hit game 5 this time, or else I will be retiring.
Uh, but that's all from us today. Thank you guys so much. See you guys in week 2. Bye bye.